Well, Leo, it's really all about relationships this month, February 2018. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. For those of you that are new, welcome. I talk about relationships in a very strong fashion this month as the lunar eclipse that has just occurred on the 31st of January influences both your sun sign, Leo, but take a look here at the very jam-packed conjunction of 4 planets here in your 7th house of marriage, public relations and important relationships. Here we see Mars in the 5th house of love affairs as well. So there are very strong components here indicating a lot going on. Mercury, to do with your thinking, Sun, which is your willpower, and Venus, again, a planet of love. But that I'm going to talk about a little later because it has to do with your professional activities. And this will have more to do with the new moon that happens a little bit later. Let's start the animation here so we can get the ball rolling. Keep an eye on Venus there as it moves out of this area later on. But right now, here we see in your domestic sphere some really nice stuff taking place after the 7th. This is the 4th house. Moon and Jupiter. Jupiter is there in this area, one of your best planets by far, and it is expanding all of your domestic needs, the family connections. It may have to do with real estate for some of you. I've talked about that in the past. And of course, when Moon is transiting this area, there's a lot of focus on a day-to-day basis. Moon rules your 12th house of expenditure, so it could well be that you go out and you want to buy some furnishings, do some renovations, spend a little bit of extra money on, things that'll bring the family closer together at that time. 5th house, as I mentioned, with Mars there, is going to see the connection with Moon around the 8th and 9th. So you could expect some nice little sizzling times with your partner, a good time to do it. Very idealistic as shown by the right angle to Neptune in your 8th house of sexuality. Well, what about that? Keep your eye here on Venus. It's going to move out of here and it's going to make contact with Neptune. There it is there. That happens on the 11th, just as the moon moves into the 6th house. You'll be torn between these sexual desires and also your workplace activities. This is your day-to-day routine along with the 3rd house. Notice here the rather somber combination of the moon and Saturn in your 6th house. That's not bad because it's casting a sextile aspect to the sun, your ruler. So this could just give you the, I guess, the control you need to, have those important discussions with your important other. Sometimes it can be a little bit depressive, but for you, I think this has more to do with just controlling your emotions and really getting down to the business of saying what you have to say. Especially here, a bit of an intensity, more around the 13th when Moon connects with Pluto. You'll want to get that work done here, just jumping back to your workplace activities. Venus in the 8th house, I said you have to watch, and that is more the case because of this new moon that's going to take place just here around the 16th and 17th. This is very powerful. Again, all of this is pointing to the 7th house of relationships, partnerships, public relations, the way you view the world. But this moon, very new indeed, is going to make that contact with Venus here on the 16th and 17th. Now, once that happens, we see that this is going to trigger some activity in your workplace, Venus being your career planet. So it's important for you to give attention to this area. And the 8th house, where you see this Venus, along with Neptune, can show some confusion around your work, relationships with your employer, and just generally a sense that maybe you don't quite have a handle on what it is you're trying to achieve in your work. So it's a very good time now. It's still the early part of the year to get your plan in order, get those milestones going, and your schedule, because you want to know exactly what it is you're doing. Time is very, very important, especially with Saturn moving through your 6th house, which is your workplace activity. And I have always said that managing your time, 168, the magic number, as I say, 24 by 7 equals 168 is imperative. And so I think that's what's going on here. As well as that, the 8th house has to do with your shared resources, your banking, talking to your bank manager. It may be that if you're running an independent business, bang, look at that. Some higher knowledge, some information, legal matters that can take place around the 20th before the moon goes into your 10th house. Beautifully exalted here, which means it's going to lift up things. And also for those of you that are interested in foreign types of business, the moon having a strong connection with your 12th house can show import-export aspects of your business, or learning or connecting with people in foreign areas. The latter part of the month we see here, again, there's a stronger connection there. This moon making contact, there it is there, with the trine aspect of Venus, your career planet. So I mentioned earlier in the month, a few days earlier, this connection with foreign affairs, but here definitely having to do with the 12th house. You might feel a little bit unwell at this time, by the way. I say that because the 12th house is a place of retirement, hospitals. Just not saying you'll go to hospital, you probably just want to lay down horizontal for the last day or two of the month. And that's my spin on it. Don't forget you've got more information on this at astrology.com.au. If I can rope you into that, we need more people there. It's tough times online. So do go in there, have a little bit of a read, absolutely free. Unless, of course, you want to dial me up and we can deal on any of those very, very specific personal issues on a one-to-one basis, and I welcome you in doing that. Till next month, take care. Lovely seeing you again, Leo. Bye for now.